Published this yesterday over at hunterandafarmersworld.com, our ADHD website. And it's titled ADHD, Why Do We Procrastinate? How Do We Overcome It? And I mean, this is not something unique to people with attention deficit disorder, but it is a real thing. I mean, you know, for example, the Procrastinators Society in January of 1995, which was the last time they got around to it, issued their predictions for the year 1994. They were eerily accurate. Eerily accurate. On the other hand, they've never had an annual meeting successfully because everybody procrastinates and then they have to cancel it because nobody's made their reservations. But you know, this is a problem. And my argument with regard to ADHD is that one aspect of ADHD, the one that drives the impulsiveness and the risk-taking behavior, is what's called under-arousal. That is, people feel like they need a boost. They need stimulation. Sometimes they get it from stimulant drugs, and this is the whole basis of, you know, stimulant therapy for ADHD. Sometimes they get it from behaviors that give them a jolt of adrenaline. Sometimes they get it from, you know, all kinds of things, these eruptive behaviors. And so the key to overcoming procrastination is, you know, a couple of pieces. Number one, break big jobs into little pieces so that they're not as intimidating and they can be done within the context of boredom. And number two, find ways to get to associate an adrenaline jolt with the things that you're procrastinating about. Number three, you know, find somebody to coach you on these things, on working through the deadlines. These are all, you know, very positive and effective strategies for dealing with procrastination. Imagining the positive outcome. This is another thing. Sometimes people are paralyzed by imagining negative outcomes, and they forget to imagine positive outcomes. They're imagining a future that doesn't exist yet, where, you know, things just don't work out or terrible things happen, and it scares them so much that it paralyzes them. And that's, you know, I see this particularly with people who procrastinate, like getting ready to go someplace, because they've got stuck in their head this thing of, well, if you forget something, you're going to ruin the trip. Or in the past, they had that experience, and it's just like almost like a PTSD thing kind of burned into them. Well, start imagining, you know, how wonderful it's going to be when you get there, and that will push you in that direction. Anyway, you can read all about it. It's an in-depth piece. We published it over at hunterandafarmersworld.com.